So yeah, let's just dive right in, and I will share my presentation with you. So today we will show you why we decided to release Thunder 3, and I'm giving the mic to Daniel.
Okay, so Thunder 3, up to now we had Thunder 2. Most of the time Thunder 1 is very old, so I hope nobody is using that anymore. Why did we decide to do a major release? It would have been probably more explainable that we do a major release with Drupal 9, with a Drupal major release, but we have some things to do before being able to support Drupal 9 that have to be done as soon as possible. And the main thing in that area is that Thunder 2 is still relying on the Contrib media entity. And Drupal 9 will not support the Contrib media entity anymore, and only the Drupal 9 or Drupal 8 core media entity will be supported. So we have to do a major release by switching from media entity to core media. What's new? Basically nothing. Thunder 3 will look and feel like Thunder 2 at the moment, with the exception of set changes in the media entity. So it's more an inside change. Small UI changes will be seen because some things are slightly handled differently in core, but the feature set will be exactly the same. But why should I install Thunder 3 now? Thunder 2 will be supported for a while until June 2020, so almost a year, but Thunder 2 will not get any new features anymore. All new features that we start developing, or that we already started developing and that we release, will be released in Thunder 3 and nowhere else. And also, it's probably the biggest step that is necessary to switch from Drupal 8 to Drupal 9. Once you're on Thunder 3, the next big step, Drupal 9, will probably be not so big anymore. So that is, it is a good idea to switch or use Thunder 3 instead of Thunder 2 now as soon as possible. Why is it still in beta? Well, migration, the switch from Contrib media to core media needs a kind of migration that has to be done manually. So it cannot be updated automatically. And in so far, it's breaking changes are applied here. So as soon as it is not possible to just update Thunder and be happy with it, we have to do a major release. And this is the case for switching from Contrib media entity to media in core. That's why we, and this is also the biggest pain point in Thunder 3. So if you have to update, you have to do manual steps. And those steps are only tested in very small environments currently. So we are actually waiting for our bigger projects to do that migration step. And as soon as we feel that this migration is very stable and absolutely super-proof, then bulletproof, then we will go back to having a non-beta release. But the good thing is the actual update is well documented. So we provide a step-by-step documentation on how to update your Thunder 2 installation to Thunder 3. It is no data migration needed. That means the actual media entities do not have to be migrated in the database or on the file system or anything. It's mainly a change of configuration, which is done in the update process, and the change of code if you rely on a Contrib entity, a Contrib media entity code. That is something that you would have to do in your own project if you have code that still relies on Contrib media entity. Everything that is released with Thunder 3, of course, does not do that, but you might have stuff in your own code base. We expect no problems currently. We don't know of any. Everything we did worked, but still we don't know. So it's too little tested in real environments for us to be stable, to call it stable. Another good news is that while even though it's a beta release, we will treat it as the same as a normal release. So if the next beta or the release candidate or the next release or whatever will be released by us, we will provide full automated updates, and it will be there will be no breaking change in further beta releases. So you can be sure there will not happen anything. You can, from this point of view, we treat it as a full release, not as a beta release where maybe things could still change drastically. That will not happen. But what about new projects? For us, Thunder 3 is fully stable for new projects. As I said, it has the same feature set as the Thunder 2, and not much happens between Thunder 2 and Thunder 3 at this point. So it's no big difference if you install the latest release of Thunder 2 or the current release of Thunder 3 Beta. For a new project, it is basically a no-brainer to always use Thunder 3 from now on, no matter if it's better or not. So that's what we suggest, at least. With the Thunder 3 release, we also change a bit our release schedule. So Thunder 2 will be end of life as soon as Drupal 8.7, the current Drupal minor version, has end of life. So this is in June 2020, almost a year, and then Thunder 2 will not be maintained anymore. Similar, we will have a parallel maintenance lifetime for Thunder 3 already, because we know Drupal 8 will be end of life sometime in June 2020, and Thunder 3 will also end of life in June 2020.
June 2022.
2022. I'm sorry, 2022, of course. So in 3 years. So because then, yeah, there's no Drupal 8 version anymore supported, so it doesn't make sense to have Thunder 3, because with Drupal 9 we will have Thunder 4. So and that will be, we don't know how long this will be supported, because we don't know how long Drupal 9 will be supported. So as you see, we will have two parallel versions in the future that we maintain. Drupal 8, Thunder 2 minimally, only security fixes, and Thunder 3 fully. To explain that a bit more, we can explain our support system. We will have in the future several levels of support. We will have fully supported versions that will be Thunder 3 for now, which will get all the bug fixes, all the updates, all the security updates, of course, and new features as well. Then we'll have minimally supported versions that will be Thunder 2 for now, which will not get any new features, but will get any critical bug fix. It will always be made sure that it will work with Drupal 8.7 and any new version of Drupal 8.7 and any new version of the modules that we use in Thunder 2. So we keep it fully maintained without adding new features. This is different for 3. Starting with the 3.3 release now, we will add new minor releases as soon as Drupal adds new minor releases. We did not do that before. Up until now, we had our tool.x release, which got, it got updated, and if a new Drupal version was out, you had to update to the new Drupal version. No chance. We do not want to do that anymore. We want to support multiple Drupal versions in the future, so we will have, as soon as Drupal 8.8 is out in December 2019, we will have 2 versions of Thunder 3. 3.3, the current one, and 3.4, the one that needs Drupal 8.8. Thunder 3.3 will still work with Drupal 8.7. With Thunder 3.4, we will use the new stuff that is only available with the new Drupal version. And that goes on with the last Drupal 8 version, which will be 8.9 as far as we know in June 2020. And then we will have Thunder 3.5. We will deprecate Thunder 3.3 because Drupal 8.7 will be deprecated at that point. But we will continue to minimally support Thunder 3.4 as long as Drupal 8.8 is supported, and so on. Of course, Thunder 4 will start there because Drupal 9 will hopefully be available at that point. Well, that was basically it. So not very fancy, more the release is a bit more complicated. And you have to take care about the Drupal versions in the future, but you had to do anyway. So.
Okay, thank you very much. If you have any question about Thunder, feel free to contact us all. Write me, write Carlo, write Daniel. Feel free to contact us. Thanks for joining our webinar. It was a pleasure to tell you something about Thunder 3, and hope to see you again soon, and have a nice evening. Bye.
Join the Thunder Coalition now. Spread the word, contribute, and benefit.